The past week or so, motorsports Twitter has completely blown up with bombshells left and right. Finally, we have a more chill type of day. We still got some stories to talk about, but they're not as chaotic as the last few days have been. First off, Alexander Rossi, who got his first win in the IndyCar series since Road America in 2019, fails post-race inspection. IndyCar has hit Rossi and Andretti Autosport with a loss of 20 points and a $25,000 fine Wednesday because the team, get this, used a water bottle to make the minimum weight in their winning car during post-race inspection. It was discovered that during post-race inspection that the car was underweight and that a water bottle was used instead of a ballast, and the car failed to meet the minimum weight requirement. Because of this penalty, that drops Rossi from 8th to 9th now in the championship standings, and the 2017 says that they regret the mistake and appreciate IndyCar's standing, and that they look forward to next weekend's race in Nashville. Let's first start off with what took place Sunday at the Indianapolis road course and a potential cover-up on the incident that took place between Kyle Larson and Ty Dillion in turn number 1. Now, obviously, I'm referencing the incident when Kyle Larson just plowed into the right side of Ty Dillion's number 42 car at an estimated speed of 120 miles an hour. Now, luckily, both drivers, I should say, were okay. They were checked and released from the infield care center. Now, based on the look of the crash, how it developed, all of us, including myself, assumed that it was simply brake failure, lost brakes, maybe even a stuck throttle, something like that. But then we had a report from Hendrick Motorsports that said that there was no brake failure. In fact, there were no mechanical issues with the car, which now makes this extremely odd. Because if it wasn't brake failure or had no type of mechanical issue with that crash, then why did Kyle Larson plow into Ty Dillion at 120 miles an hour in turn 1? Brake failure seemed like the only reason for it. If it's not the case, then why did this accident happen? Now, the other odd thing about this story is the fact that that's all Hendrick Motorsports said. They didn't provide an update. They didn't say it was driver error or anything like that. In fact, when Kyle Larson was checked and released from the care center, he didn't even talk to interviewers. He went straight either to the motor coach or to the team. Didn't even talk to reporters about the incident and still hasn't mentioned anything, said nothing about what happened, which again is very odd. For an incident like this, it's okay for a driver to come out, for a team to come out and say like, hey, yeah, we had brake failure or we lost brakes or stuck throttle. It's okay. It's nothing illegal, or against the rules with admitting to that. It's a mistake. It happens. It's racing. But because of how vague this whole story has been, there have been a lot of rumors swirling around on whether maybe Hendrick Motorsports had something illegal in the car that was able to get through the cracks of NASCAR, and if they were to announce what happened, maybe get exposed. I'm not sure. There were also rumors that maybe Kyle Larson lost conscious, maybe have blacked out in that incident, and then when he hit Ty Dillion, all of a sudden woke up. Now, it's not something that's never been heard of before. I think Dale Earnhardt in 1997 at Darlington, where he all of a sudden blacked out. Now, the issue with that part is the fact that if you look at telemetry data, there's video footage of telemetry data that shows Larson showing that he had pedal. He said he had pedal. You can see him hitting the throttle, hitting the brakes by the time he hit Ty Dillion. So to say that he lost consciousness, I don't believe that statement. What I'm thinking is that maybe something to do with brakes, because we have seen a lot of whenever cars get wrapped, whenever you see video footage of cars getting wrapped, their brakes are blurred out. And I think maybe Hendrick Motorsports could maybe have something with the brakes that maybe gives them an advantage over the other competition, and maybe them saying, oh no, it wasn't brake failure, it was something else, to try maybe take the focus away from what they have in their brakes. That's all I can think of, because why else wouldn't you admit that it was brake failure that caused a crash? Because that's what it looked like. Everyone assumed it was brake failure. And for them to, not give any information about the situation, and the fact that they admitted that it wasn't a mechanical issue even, not even a stuck throttle, just nothing to do with mechanical, didn't say anything about driver error. All they said was, no mechanical issues, done. All I can say is that I'm pretty sure when we get to Michigan, a lot of reporters are going to be talking to Kyle Larson and maybe other people from Hendrick Motorsports about what took place in that crash, because the way I'm looking at it is a bit of a cover-up. because of how vague the situation and the details they're giving out. But we'll just have to wait and see, and more than likely we could get some more information during press conferences and during the media day on Friday and Saturday at Michigan. Now let's talk about the condition of Kurt Busch. Now Kurt Busch has been sidelined since January 23rd when he crashed during qualifying at Pocono Raceway due to concussion-like symptoms. I guess we can now confirm, or at least say a concussion at the very least. And it looked like he may be on the road back to recovery. There was pictures of him at 2311 headquarters, at least working from the engineering side of things, looking with data and things like that. So he was back into a working environment, just not in a race car. And I thought that maybe he could be ready for Michigan this weekend. That's not the case. Kurt Busch announced earlier today that he will not be driving at Michigan. He says, quote, "While I am continuing to make improvements every day and can't wait to get back in the number 45 Monster Energy Toyota Camry TRD, I have yet to be cleared to return to competition and will not be participating in the NASCAR Cup Series race this weekend at Michigan International Speedway. Ty Gibbs will drive the car this weekend." He says he is working hard to get back to 100%, and it is his hope that he gets back in the car at Richmond Raceway. Now again, he still does have a waiver, and luckily for him, the past 2 races that he's been out, they've all been won by repeat winners. Chase Elliott won at Pocono, and then Tyler Reddick wins at the Indy Road Course. They've already won so it doesn't really change much with the playoff picture, which again helps Kurt Busch greatly. And I think also this may be a way just for him to hold back a little bit, considering the fact that Michigan is a big 2-mile racetrack where speeds can get as high as 180 miles an hour. Maybe as a precaution, I think Kurt is somewhat ready, but I think as an extra precaution, say, hey, maybe not let him go to a big track like Michigan. Richmond, it's a small 3/4 of a mile oval, short track. It would be better off to sort of have Kurt Busch ease back into NASCAR rather than throw him into the pack of wolves by a big 2-mile track like Michigan. But yeah, of course, I'm hoping that Kurt Busch is 110%. I don't want him to get back in the car when he's 95% ready. I want to make sure he's 100% healthy, that he can do everything normally with life before he can get back in the car and race for the rest of the 2022 season. As for the future, again, the longer he sits out, the more it's playing to kind of like a Dale Jr. 2016, 2017 scenario where he has these concussion-like symptoms, sits out, and then announces retirement shortly after. I'm not confirming that will happen, but it is something that we have to take note of. Kurt Busch does seem to be in good spirits though. Here's a video of him at the Charlotte FC football game in Charlotte, North Carolina. Him getting used to being outside noisy, loud situations to help with his progress with his concussion-like symptoms so that he can be able to get back into racing.